What would happen if there were no men in the world? It's a thought-provoking question that raises multiple points for discussion. If there were no men in the world, the implications for reproduction would be significant. Artificial insemination or cloning would become the only way for the human race to continue, and the traditional family structure would disappear. Industries that are traditionally dominated by men, such as construction and engineering, would also be affected. Women would have to take on these roles, and it's likely that the industry would become more inclusive as a result. It is impossible to predict exactly what would happen to women if there were no men in the world, as this is a hypothetical scenario. However, it is important to note that men and women both play important roles in society and contribute to its functioning in different ways. Without men, there would be no male perspective, voice, or representation in society, which would likely have significant social, economic, and political consequences. In a world without men, women would likely have to take on additional responsibilities in order to maintain and sustain society. They may have to take on traditionally male roles, such as providing for their families or serving in the military. Women may also have to work together more closely in order to maintain infrastructure and provide for their communities. However, it is important to note that this hypothetical scenario is not ideal, as it would lead to a significant loss of diversity and perspective in society. Both men and women have important contributions to make, and it is important to work towards creating a world where everyone can thrive and succeed. The absence of men would have a profound impact on gender roles and expectations. Women would no longer be defined by their relationships with men, and may be more likely to pursue careers and other interests. However, there would still be the potential for gender inequality, as women may be seen as inferior without men to compare themselves to. The political landscape would also be affected. Without men in positions of power, the political landscape would be more cooperative and less confrontational. However, it's also possible that women may become just as power-hungry and competitive as men are today. In conclusion, a world without men would be vastly different from the one we know today. While there are certainly advantages and disadvantages to such a scenario, it's important to remember that gender diversity is what makes our society so rich and complex. We should strive for equality and inclusivity in all aspects of our lives, regardless of gender.